And this competition replay was sent in by the user Iron Paw. That is Iron Paw, and he's driving the WZ-132 on a standard battle on Redshire. WZ-132 being a tier 8 light tank for the Chinese. So straight away, Iron Paw going to be heading to that far right-hand side, as you can see. He's got the M41 Bulldog in front of him. But he's almost certainly going to be heading to this right-hand flank to try and get up on a hill and sit in a little bush and spot the enemy team as they come in. Looks like the M41 Bulldog's going more for the far right-hand side. Maybe going to try and spot everybody as they come around the corner. Iron Paw going for a more central spotting role here. Gets himself set up nicely in a bush. Gets here early, spots out 2 enemy tanks, 3 enemy tanks as they are coming in. Just has a quick look at them, shows some great fire discipline there. Not firing at that IS from this position, doesn't want to give away his location just yet. I probably would have fired off a shot there and then fallen back, but as you can see, Iron Paw showing great discipline. Staying in hidden in his location, trying to see who else he can spot as they make a move. Light replays tend to go this way. Early on, they sit in a bush because they're the first ones to arrive in any location. And got to wait for the rest of the team to catch up. It's a little bit of a shame that they don't have more heavy tanks here with them. The VK is making a slow maneuver over, and the E75's finally decided to make his way over here. Spots an IS-8 in the background there, but he's camping way off in the back. Might have a shot at him. Does, but doesn't quite penetrate, and then falls back just a little bit in case he gets spotted. And it's a shame that they don't have more tanks on this flank, because with only 3 tanks really contesting this area, they could have easily pushed, the Allies could have easily pushed very quickly. Gets a great shot through the side of the T-43's turret, and then has to back off because he was almost certainly spotted doing that. You can see that E75's lost a lot of his hit points already. He's been absolutely pummeled. Getting his gun focus all the way in. The guns on these Chinese tanks tend to be a little bit inaccurate. They do have pretty good penetration and pretty good damage for their tier. This one, in fact, has 189mm of penetration and 250 damage. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for a light tank, that's pretty damn good. Takes out the T-43 pretty quickly there for his first kill. But these tanks tend to need to shoot the sides and the rear of tanks to be able to have much effect and be able to penetrate very many shots. T-95 making his way in here. I'd be surprised if Iron Paw was going to have a shot at him, because he'll find it very, very difficult to penetrate even the sides of a T-95. That E-75 still alive there. And the Allied E-75 has now arrived. That IS-8's made a move forward as well, so it looks like the enemy team committing a lot more forces to this flank. Now they realise there weren't many Allied tanks here. Unfortunately for them, they should have done that right at the start of the battle, and they would have been able to win that fight. Now Iron Paw going to be making a move to flank around the side. Going to try and put a shot into the side of the IS-8's turret here. Gets a great shot and then backs off, hoping that the IS-8's focused more on what's going on in front of him than the light tank shooting from the side. IS-8 continuing to move, and that shot just about misses. IS-8 doing a good job of not standing still for too long so that he gets shot, as you can see, although then he goes ahead and stands still for too long and gets shot. The M41 Bulldog's flanking all the way around. Iron Paw's got to be careful here as the IS-8's focusing on him. It looks like he's moving just a little bit too much. This IS-8 is going to drop back now and try and deal with this M41, who's just unleashing hell on him. Just stripping off all of his hit points. He's lost a fair chunk himself, but then gets taken out. And Iron Paw's going to switch his attention across to this T-95 now. Bounces that shot on the side armor. And a good bit of advice for you is if you want to learn where the weak spots are of various tanks, best thing you can do for yourself is drive a light tank that doesn't have a very good cannon. It doesn't have very good penetration, and then you're going to have to find the weak spots or you're never going to get any damage whatsoever. As you can see, puts a great shot through the side of that T-95 there. Holds this shot until he straightens up a little bit. E-75 is alongside the T-95 now. T-95's trying his best to get his front armor on to as many targets as possible. That E-75 finally takes him out, and then they're going to be able to move on and focus their attention on this KV-4. It's now appeared, but hanging all the way back. Not really sure what difference he's going to make from all the way back there. Iron Paw crests the hill a little bit, finds a T29. He might be able to take his track out. He's been spotted out now by this LTTB, but it looks like he's more focused on the M41 in the background, maybe, or some of the other tanks. Not quite able to land a shot before he reloads his cannon. T29 is still on the hill. Maybe his tracks have been taken out from earlier. Iron Paw gets another good bit of damage onto him. Going to see if he can get the final bit of damage for the kill. He can indeed. That's kill number 2, but he's got to be careful with this LTTB. Doesn't want to give away too many of his hit points for free. Season AMX M445 gets a great shot through the side of his armor as well to take him out for kill number 3. M41 Bulldog has backed off now. I'm not really sure what the E75 and the VK are doing. They're both very healthy. They should really just charge down on this KV4. And a little bit of a misplay by Iron Paw. Cresting the hill to try and hit this LTTB. And as it was, he takes a shot from the KV4 and the IS3. KV4 amazingly still remains hidden after that shot. Or maybe he flashed up and then disappeared without me noticing. Looks like the enemy team has totally won the battle on the left-hand flank, and they are currently winning 8 kills to 10. It looks like there's at least 2 of them in the cap circle, 3 of them now, with just 20 seconds left on the cap clock. There is Iron Paw himself making his way back in the Centurion 1 with only 2 hit points. It looks like somebody's actually left the cap circle now, which is going to give the Allies, thankfully, enough time to get back and do something about it. Maybe somebody thought this game was a foregone conclusion and wanted to go for the damage and the kills rather than the base capture. Centurion 1 is going to be the first one around the corner, and he's got to be careful he doesn't get shot in the face, but even if he does, that's going to be Iron Paw not getting shot. Has a shot at the T44, but bounced. Luckily, the Centurion 1 decapped that, and there's a T37 in the back. Going to wait for his cannon to reload, and then one shot should be all it takes. Takes him out, he does. T69 appears on the hill, but looks like he's too busy firing at this E75. Iron Paw is going to get away with not getting shot. Unfortunately, not quite able to damage the T69. It looks like the T69's fired off all of his shots now, and he's dropping back while reloading. Iron Paw and this Centurion 1 have got to get as much damage onto him as possible before he reloads that cannon, as he'd be able to take both of them out very, very quickly. And to be perfectly honest, I don't want to shame this guy too much, but he's basically just lost the battle for his team. If he'd stayed in the cap circle with the other guys, this base would have been captured long ago before the Centurion and Iron Paw and the WZ were able to turn up and decap. As it was, got a little bit greedy, and the enemy team is now losing this game 12 kills to 11. Although, on the face of it, it is now even, and they're in a lot better position, as it is their tanks have got a lot more hit points. Looks like that KV4 has full health, the 110, 600 and some, and the IS3, 1100. Allied E75 on 1200 health, and that Centurion 1 on 2 health. Looks like the E75 is doing the best he can. He's going to charge straight down the middle. The Centurion 1's going to flank around the left, and Iron Paw's going to flank around the right. Both of them going to keep their distance. KV4 actually not on full health. He gets set on fire. Going to see if Iron Paw can get some damage onto him with his terrible gun depression. He can indeed. That's kill number 5. And that's just put things a lot more nicely into the Allied team's favour. And like I was saying, the Centurion 1 and himself keeping their distance, as they don't have very much health themselves. That E75 just doing what E75s do, which is charge straight up the middle of the battlefield and bully the opponents out of the way. And Iron Paw gets a beautiful shot onto that 110 for his number 6 kill and his Top Gun medal. IS3 backing off. Iron Paw lands a shot on the side, but it's only a critical hit because the IS3 has super strong side armor. Focuses in on his weak spot, gets a great shot onto him, and he gets taken out, and that is the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Iron Paw and his WZ-132, picking himself up 6 kills, 4,500 points of damage, and the victory. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in.